Victory! The hotkeys are working. Welcome back and good morning, everybody. This is still the ZOTAC European Cup. Although I guess I don't need to differentiate them anymore because there's no more ZOTAC NA, man. It's the first week without it, unfortunately, but ZOTAC did clear the way out of the Warcraft 3 Cups and the ZOTAC North American Cups in order to make some Hearthstone NA and EU Cups. So if you guys play Hearthstone, you should certainly check those out, as the ZOTAC people are pretty dedicated to esports. However, I am joined today by Blisk, and spawning in the lower left corner of the map from the, well, I guess not, can you call it a team? The sponsors known as XMG. It's the Teal Protoss player Lilbow.
And in the top right hand corner we have, from apparently Team Alternate Attacks, it is Kaup.
That's a
blue turn.
That is a badass logo, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is.
Everyone does like the transparent GIFs and, PNGs and things, but I've never seen a pure black one, and that looks pretty solid. Small little nod to Blizzard. They've been doing a lot of things wrong, let's not lie, but this was one of the, these were one of the things that were done right. These little additions to the I don't know what you call them. They're not quite decals or decals, but kind of the little swivels around
the logos.
Yeah, I really like it. It looks quite nice too. They managed to make it non-invasive. Can you imagine if that thing was like a giant sign outside the command center?
But even like they have this, what is that? Like the decal, you can put in your own decal.
Yeah.
So you can see Kaup's decal is actually like a, like something which looks like a Monster Energy logo, but I don't think it is.
Oh wait, are you talking about the three little claw things?
Yeah, the three claw things. Or is that already a pre?
There's the one that looks like the monster one is like the yeah, it's like the Zerg version of the one that Kaup is currently using.
Ah, okay.
The more you know. PvT is a very, there's a very good reason I'm excited about this matchup for Blisk. We kind of talked a little bit about it casually before we got going here, but you guys have seen on Base Rate TV recently there's been a lot of success, you know, Grubby tearing up the brackets versus players like Jockshi making them look like nothing at all, and you know, Blisk has actually had a little bit of a hand in helping sort out and prepare these matches. So my first question to you, Blisk.
The secret.
Yeah. Okay.
I trusted you. No, it's fine. Yeah.
No, the first question I have for you, so, you know, whether it comes down to, like, the classic ways of the matchup, I mean, let's be honest, like, 9 times out of 10, there's, if not an Oracle opening, it's Armor and Charge Lots and Storm. But one of the curious things that we saw quite effective recently was, especially in IEM, Grubby, you know, opening with Phoenixes, pairing those up with Colossus, a strategy that is not so unheard of, that it's never been done before, but very uncommon in this matchup. I'm curious on your thoughts behind that.
Behind Phoenix Colossus, like what? How good and effective it is. Well, I think it's good because, well, Phoenixes negate the Vikings, and it's like a very logical unit composition, but it's hard to like, there's a huge timing window where you have no units and all you have is Phoenixes, so you gotta really be careful with your unit control. So it's like a little bit difficult micro wise, but unit composition wise is gonna be really strong. And like even during the mid game timings, like if they pull SCVs or do like a 2 base timings or 3 base timing, it's really strong against Phoenix Colossus, especially because you have that delayed upgrades. So yeah, that can happen. So it's really up to like the player who executes his build better, like any other Protoss PvT build.
One of the things I really enjoy about it, from a spectator point of view, is not just the fact that it's different, but the main reason I brought it up too is the fact that every Terran player relies on multiple drops causing pressure, allowing them to get to that late game stage in order to, you know, deal with the Colossus, much less the Phoenix. And when you go for those Phoenix, man, if you've got good control, they're kind of like Mutals. They just hunt down medevacs, and it's impossible to drop a Protoss player who's got that under control.
Yep, and if anyone has watched San versus any Terran in Aces Rock, he used those. He just made 3.
Ooh, that's a very aggressive push. That's gonna cost him some Marines. Oh, can't quite get back to the bunker. Oh man, Lilbow, that was such a good force field. I mean, from a Terran standpoint, I can't believe he did that. Protoss are all scumbags, but that was actually really well handled, as he lost nothing for it either.
Yeah, but the thing is, Widow Mines are coming out and he has no detection, so all he's got to rely on is this bunker. But I think this 3-gate aggression is actually going to be really successful here.
Yeah, it'd be so nice to just carry that Widowmine across the map, but he may need to leave it here at home. And Supply Depot is stubbornly trying to be repaired here. Marines, of course, do have to be careful. He just lost 6 Marines too, which is really unfortunate. It's not even just the fact that he's still got 4 in the bunker, but can't really afford to lose more. And if we can,
that's actually why Lilbow isn't pushing the issue right now. He knows he's got the unit lead for quite a while, so he's just gonna poke until he feels like he's got enough, and then just bomb rush that bunker. And he's got so many sentries, and Robo's going up as well, so he's got the defenses starting up to deal with that Widowmine as well. It's only 1 Widowmine now.
He may even just be able to bust the bunker with the sentries and the force fields rather than really have to wait for a powerhouse. But does unload a couple Widowmines across the map. As you said, that the Robo's already done and the Observer's on the way. So this is not going to get a whole lot done. A couple of kills at best.
I feel like Lilbow actually has to use a hallucination right now to know what Kaup is doing, because he still sees nothing, and like Kaup has actually made a tech lab on that. That's actually nothing special. I thought he was gonna go for Banshees or something like that. That's gonna be really dangerous, but
oh, Kaup's actually get supply boxed. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
That's why so many Terran players, but like, if you guys watch Pulp play, for example, like, you'll never see him put his first depot over here, and what we just saw is exactly why. The power of the Mothership Core too, like, it's got cool abilities, the damage on it's alright, but really its vision is just insane compared to every other unit in the game. So kind of one of its biggest strengths here is what allowed him to really, whoa, those force fields.
Those force fields. And he has so many ranged units here that he can just pick everything up. That's not in that bunker. Zealot does go down though, but 1 Zealot for the cost of so many units, that's gonna be worth it.
The resources lost, it's more than double at this point, and I kind of fear for Kaup. He's got a lot of production. Once those forces get up into the main, maybe he takes a fight, but there's no way he's fighting around this ramp anytime soon.
Yeah, not only that, like, this containers went up for so long, so Lilbow's economy has just went insane. He has so many units, and he's like nearly doubling the supply of Kaup here. And there's so little Kaup can do against it.
Gets the Mothership Core though. That was like the MVP Widowmine of the day. That alone is what sent Lilbow backwards, guys. Not having that high ground vision. You saw him throw down those 5 force fields. He was ready to break that bunker. But holy cow, what a snipe on that Widowmine.
Very, very good move there. Like, a Widowmine alone does not take out a Mothership Core, but with, I think, 1 hit or 2 hits from a Marine, added with a Widowmine shot, that takes it out.
Yeah, so, it brings it to, I think, was it like 40 health? It's something really, really low, but... oh, I don't like that he salvaged the bunker on the high ground. He might have some units available, but this is still quite a force he's going to have to deal with. The force field's actually going to work a little bit against the Zealots here, ironically enough, but did snipe that bunker.
Kaup does have enough units, nonetheless, to deal with that if he micros back. Oh, but with the Immortal now, that's going to be a little bit more difficult for Kaup, but the Immortal's not shooting. He's blocked off by his own units, and full of the SCVs is definitely going to hold this off here.
Yeah, and the thing too is, like, he's done this without stim, the Kaup. So I mean, he was in this really rough scenario, but by not panicking, losing a couple units here and there, a little bit foolishly, albeit, still manages to stay in this game in a big way.
Yeah, like, Lilbow has gotten that such a huge lead from that pressure, but right now he's still pushing on the issue, and this might prove not so effective here for Lilbow, but we'll see how this engage goes.
I like that Kaup is poking around, but he really should wait till his stim's done before trying to take a decisive fight, because I mean, there's no concussive shell on the Marauders. There's literally no tech behind us other than combat shields. Well, I guess he's got +1 now too, but he spent so much time, stuck in that base getting units out. He wasn't able to afford to really dump a ton into like stim pack.
Yeah, but the clock is ticking here for Lilbow. Like, once that stim completes, it's gonna be so
he'll
much
break
more.
this. Yeah, so easily. Another group of units here on the high ground, so possibly coming in from the ramp too. Good force field, gonna block these units away from this. Command center needs to be lifted.
He's gonna kill that command center. Actually flies that back, and he's gonna repair it, so it's gonna live.
Zealots are gone now. There's no buffer. Stim is so close to finishing. 8 in-game seconds. SCVs are pulled, though. He should be able to clean this up regardless, even with the reinforcements coming in.
Stim. Oh, he doesn't even need the stim right now.
No, he doesn't. He's already won the fight. He's pulled some SCVs. He could honestly just go across the map full on, like, all in, and he could win this game. He just took out like 5 Immortals. Well, not 5, like 4, but no, 3. There we go, 3 Immortals, because I can count. I'm just getting caught up in the hype. But a push like this, there's a Photon overcharge to defend 1 base, but not 2.
If he just lifts up into the main, I think that would be really good as well.
Well,
But
he's
overstimming his units right now. Look how orange and red those units are. Just
Yeah.
a few shots from the
Yeah.
overcharge and they're dead. So he has to pull back. Oh, great force fields actually, trapping a few units in front of it.
Yeah, Kaup perhaps a little overzealous there.
Yeah.
Oh, but
And
gosh, that's a second Robo and Colossus Den finishing up shortly. This is something that Bio alone's not gonna hold. He's gonna need some Vikings, but he can't afford to get Vikings like that. At least 6 medevacs on the map.
Yeah, it might look pretty even now, the game, like as to the worker count and the supply count, but the tech of Lilbow is so far ahead of Kaup that I don't think Kaup's gonna have a good time dealing with this.
No. Now, you know, there's a small window of opportunity here. Before that Thermal Lance is done, 2 Colossus are actually not that scary. The Marauders can stay within range and tango with them. But once you've got those force fields down and Thermal Lance finished, there's no way this Bioforce is going to hold its own. So, I don't know. Ooh, that's a very awkward set of force fields.
Yep, just traps a few units on the ramp, but Kaup does pick them up and drop them back behind the force fields. And Kaup does have 1-1, and with upgrade lead on Zealots, Zealots are less effective. But 2 Colossus are out now, and one.
That's the timing Lilbow needs. Kaup is just going to fall back. He knows that it's not a fight he can take. And if he's maybe on the open like this, again, maybe it's a better fight for him. But for now, he's just picking off Zealots, stimming away, stuttering backwards. No anti-air to really pick off the medevacs, too, when you consider there's only like 2 stalkers in this.
Kaup's doing this so well. He just keeps staying
from
out
behind.
of the Colossi range and abusing the fact that they don't have the range upgrade just quite yet. But Lilbow
gets right on top of the Colossus. First one goes down. Second one's soon to follow. Oh, he's trying to focus it, but the Immortals are here, and looks like Kaup is going to pick up and try to get on out. And this is what I was talking about. Like, with no anti-air for Lilbow, like, there's a couple of stalkers here, but nothing that could chase those medevacs. So this army gets out, not unscathed, but more alive than it should have.
Yeah, and he did a great job just kiting the Zealots and staying out of the Colossi range. So the Colossi didn't do the most damage they could, and abusing the fact that he didn't have range. But now with range, and with that proxy pylon, I think Lilbow wants to end the game right here. He has 3 Colossi against 2 Vikings on the way, with one just
getting chased away. This one, poor Viking. And this is not a good engagement area. Like a big open area where you can spread your units out. That's what a Terran needs against the Colossus army. But getting stuck behind the mineral lines. Oh god, one force field could cost Kaup so much. He knows this, so he pulls everything. SCVs included, full bore.
How good are SCVs against Colossi?
They don't. That good, no, they get the job done. They just need to soak the hits for the Marauders, because the Marauders will beat the Stalkers. The Marauders and the Marines will tear through the Immortals, but there might just be a little too much. Lilbow still has Stalkers on the ground behind this. Now landing his Vikings. Both players going absolutely all in with this attack. Let's not forget, though. Well, I shouldn't say both players. Lilbow's got almost nothing behind us army-wise, but, you know, he's still got 46 workers. Maybe he warps in a ton of Zealots. I don't know. Yeah. Good game.
Wow, GG goes down.
GG.
That was such a huge throw from Lilbow. Like, he had range on his Colossi, and he let the Colossi just stand straight in front and get targeted down by the Bio, so...
The SCVs, too, like, they weren't exactly connecting, but they soaked everything they needed to. Like, that was... Yep. A very awkward fight, but a good game, I gotta say. It was pretty, like, you gotta consider Lilbow started off with this, like, hardcore contain. Kaup was kind of stuck. It looked desperate for a little bit, then broke it, and I don't know. Yeah. I like those games, the back and forth ones, right? The ones that are, like, exciting to watch.
That's true. But that was a really interesting early on pressure by Lilbow. Like, you don't usually see 3-gate pressures anymore that much because of, a lot of Terrans just dealing very well against it, like with 1-Rax Marine or 2-Rax, or like their funky builds basically. Lilbow not afraid to throw that out there.